Hi, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Actually, it's good morning. It's a very beautiful and sunny morning here in New Brunswick. And I wanted to show you four of my new botanical junk journals, which are in the shop now. They have been posted. They are Inspire, Creativity, Vision, and Whimsy. So they're all in a similar style, made from cloth on the cover and a lace snippet on the side here with an insert tag with the title and so on. I will show you first one, and then I will show you the others quickly after that as well, so that you can see what these are all about. They are very beautiful TN style. They're just fabric on the cover, just reinforced with cardstock here as a pocket, and then I did reinforce the spine as well and put a little bit of beads over here instead of a tassel, just because these are a little bit more compact and I wanted them to stay that way so they're easy to take around wherever you might be heading, or even if it's to your bedroom. So anyways, let me just show you the first one, which is Inspire. So here's Inspire. It does have vintage laces on the top here, which I've sewn into a snippet on back of a cotton. And I use different types of ribbon and laces. As you can see, some with embroidery, and then some ribbons, and this one here was, and I'm not sure, it came from maybe a doily of these types of flowers, and then here as well. And there is a little charm here on this one. Looks like a little flower, and some more vintage doilies on top here. So lots of laces here of different colors, but I try to blend them in to go together. And then this beautiful like fabric on the back, and you can see here as well. It's very nice to hold, and it's cushiony, and the way I like it anyways. And then the tag has the title, Inspire, and this butterfly, and it has a collage in the back that I've done. And I've punched out a square and put this inside just for a little bit of a frame around the collage. And then I also included eyelash trim and ribbon on top here as a tab, and then backed it up with some cardstock and coffee or tea stained paper for writing. So this one's ready, to be used to put some of your messages or thoughts on in the front here. So the let me give you the measurements. Actually, on these, they're all the same size. So they are about, looks like about 4 3/4, almost 5 by 9. So it is a sort of a traveling notebook style or size. And the spine is about 1 3/4, just shy of 2 inches. And now it stays together or flat just like this. It does not require any closure, but if you really need something, you can just wrap a little ribbon around it. But it really, even if you fill it up, I think just the way it's made, that it will just stay the way it is and not, stay gaping open. So in the beginning here, we have cardstock here, and then I made a little snippet here, collage and or cluster, and just sewn it on here. And this is an actual photo paper that I printed this on, this lady with flowers to go with the colors here, and just made it look antique. And I used some of that tape. I like using the brown tape. And over here you have some botanical flowers, beautiful pinkish purple here. And here's a little notebook. So you have some extra pages here to write on. A little collage here too, journaling card. And in the back you have little tiny cutouts that you might want to, maybe glue somewhere else or use as decoration in some other journal, whatever you want to do with it, or just leave it in here. So this is right in the front, and then this makes the cover a little bit sturdier here, but otherwise it is just fabric here. So we have a tab on the top here, and then in the next pocket here, we have a large tag. Sometimes I like making these large tags just to give you plenty of more space for journaling. And this one is filled with birds. And mama bird here feeding her babies. They're hungry. Looks like it's morning and they're hungry. Over here, a little bit of a paper ruffle on fabric and some sewing. Over here, I put in little bits on the side. A vintage plant book here, page. And then this is also from a vintage book about birds. Just beautiful colors on the vintage. And the day before, this is from, it was like a day book or something, but it has nice lines and it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so you can use this for writing as well. Then in the back here, we have a tag and backed up with some writing paper and some beautiful colors on it to look at. And with a fabric tab on top. Over here, this is some of my metallic paints painting, and then some stamping on top. If you can see that, a little bit shiny. And then graph paper. And here I have a lace fabric and different bits that I put together into a cluster. And then it holds this button as well, charm. And a tiny bit of the shiny bit in there as well. And over here, there's some stamping on this graph paper. It's a little bit different, and it's a fold out. A little bit of lines over here, so stamping on this one, and then lots and lots of space for you to write. And some more stamping. This is also from a vintage flower book. Beautiful flowers of different colors. And then here, put that painter's tape just for more writing space. Here as well. And then here is fabric flowers that I have made recently, and I put a button on it, and it just looks so cute. I'm going to do some more of them. And inside here is another tag. This is what I call a tall tag. It's a little bit skinny and tall, but it has fabric here and a fabric tab and a bird in the middle, so it fits perfectly inside here. And then this is a paper bag, and you have a pocket here and a little bit more of journaling cards and a tag of different sizes. And in the middle, a little bit of flowers, some more writing space, and a little bit of a flower in the middle. And then here is a vintage postcard. Let me see here. I don't know if it has years, probably like 1956. I don't imagine it's 1856, but I'm not sure, but it's probably 1956. And just a beautiful Maine postcard of scenery. And then here's another one of these flowers that I made. And then here here is a little bit of a label. You can put this label, somewhere else if you wish to write on it, somewhere where there's text or something. So that's just in case you need one. And more vintage book page, these beautiful yellow flowers. So over here is a pocket, and you can, tuck something in here as well. I left it open to use however you wish. And then some stamping on this graph paper. And here is it's a little bit of a see-through pocket, and inside is a round journaling tag with some purple flowers on here, and it is tied with eyelash trim, and you can take it off, undo the knot, and you can take it off, put it somewhere else if you wish. It is one of those plastic protectors when you get a name tag or something that's put in. I found a bunch of those, and I thought I could very well use it so it looks like a specimen here or something of that sort. And then a little bit more graph paper, a little bit more of the metallic painted paper, and some lined paper from a date book, and this beautiful yellow bird from a vintage bird book, vintage plant book here, and a little more bits here and sewing. And then on the other side, a little collage as well with flowers. And then here's a pocket, and this is a see-through pocket where you can put something else. Let me see what might fit in here. I'm not sure, but anyways, you can put something of more like a tall tag, or some strips of paper that you might have hanging around that you might want to put into the journal. So that's included into this pocket. And so that's the end of the first signature. Now these ones are also little tucks as well. They're little snippets over here, or clusters. that is collaged and sewn. So now on this side, this is some of my own photography. I like taking close-ups of flower petals and so on. So this was probably a peony, and then I put this onto lace pocket here. And then I printed this from the New York Public Library, and I just thought because it has flowers around here and just the way it's decorated here with flowers and this beautiful print, I included it in the back. You can write on it. And I just aged it up so that it looks nice and old on this beautiful cardstock on both sides. Very nice, beautiful flower prints. And then here's a label on this pocket. And then another vintage postcard. I tried to use, this one's blank, so you can write on it or send it somewhere if you really wish. And then I tried to use something with greenery and trees and nature and flowers and so on in the whole journal, where I have some vintage postcards. Over here, coffee stained paper and some paper ruffle on fabric. And then in the back, I put bits, whatever I have left over. And to me, that's still embellishment and still some points of interest. And beautiful flowers here from a vintage flower book. And then on this beautiful ledger paper, I have another cluster here of fabric and laces and so on. And I do have a charm on this one. It says world. So world on this one. And this is the Inspire journal. So inspire the world. And over here, some more nature and flowers. And here also round. I like round also. I like the round tags. They are sort of compact and they are easy to put in whatever, or even paper clip if you want. So for a little note, they're really, really good. And over here I have some pink paper that I made with just the red food dye and then some stamping. And this is from old dictionary, or maybe more of a poem book, I think. Maybe from a poem book. This beautiful. Anything that feels so good. I just love to have this in a journal. And then also some vintage gardening book from over here. And then this is Indian handmade paper. It is a block that I got of paper in Europe, and it is a little bit costly, but well worth it because it does add a spark to your journal. And inside I made pockets. So these are 2 envelopes that have pockets inside here, and there's a little bit of writing paper in there. And then over here, just writing paper. And in the back, beautiful flowers. And so this is also a paper flower here. And then more writing space here, pocket. And then this one I left it open so that you can fill in, but I sewn around it. And this is just beautiful just to feel the texture on this one. And then the back of that vintage book page and poem book, and some of this colored paper with stamping, more flowers to look at. And here I did a hinged pocket sort of on this ledger paper. So it opens once like this, and then you can open it again and write in here. There's stamping on here. Beautiful flowers, a little bit of a sewn label. And in the pocket here is a beautiful tag as well with a pink theme on it, and ledger, and some more of these beautiful peonies and irises over here. I think I have some of these sort of lemony colored yellow irises in my garden as well, and they're just beautiful. You know, also have purple. And then here, some more bits sewn in, collaging, and a nice pocket here, and a large journaling tag with birds on this one, and lots of sewing. So I like sewing, so there's always going to be a lot of sewing in my journals. And another large journaling tag with a little bit of, I love to think of nature as an unlimited broadcasting station. Well, that's a little poem by George Washington Carver. And then, so this beautiful cardstock, and then a little snippet of my photography here of close-up of petals, just to give it a spot of color. And here's a little birdie and another little cluster, and you can put a tag in it. And there's a tag right here with different colors on it and different interest. And in the back, of course, you can write. And here's some graph paper with a paper ruffle, and you can open this up, and inside you have details. A little bit more from the shrubs for your garden, information from a plant book, and then a little label here, some butterflies, original also from a butterfly book. And this beautiful, oh, I love this, with where some of the other coffee stain paper sort of dripped on this and gave me this beautiful, I don't know if I can, copy this again. Sometimes you get something by accident and really you can't reproduce it. When you do try, it just doesn't turn out the same. So mistakes are beautiful in the journaling or junk journaling world anyways. So another cluster here of these beautiful different pieces of cotton and embroidered cotton and lace and a little bit of shiny and a leaf over here, a leaf charm, more stamping from a vintage bird book, and a label here, a little bit more of these roses in black and white, also very beautiful, and just a patina on these vintage pages, and a little bit of lined paper here, and more from flower books. These are all from different flower books, so I have quite a few here. I added on laces on the side here. I mean, there's other laces I maybe didn't mention. There's lace right here on this handmade paper, and there's lace also here on the bag pockets. And then inside this one I have some violets, and this is on some of that paper, not really tracing paper, that paper that you find in old photo albums to protect the photographs. And inside there's just a little tag you can use and a bigger tag with some beautiful details on there as well, and a postage stamp. So, but it's a bigger pocket. You can put something else in it as well. You can fill it up a little bit more. And then here you have some more journaling notebooks, little mini ones in these pockets. And then on each side it has a little blurb, whatever I happen to find in a book page that made a little bit of a sense to me. And a little bit of paper flower. And then here's some more violets on this one. And just a couple of journaling cards here. And then here I did put in the name Inspire, the title of this journal, and another little tag here, but it does have a butterfly stamped on it. But you can tuck in something else, whatever you want. And then some stamping over here. And then so this one has lace also, stamping, and from a flower book, lined pages, and plant book and bird book, all original pages here. So lots of authentic pages from vintage books. And then here I did include a little bit, 2 strips to make it look like a postage stamp album. And inside I included some postage stamps that are sort of in the theme of nature and so on. That might go with this journal, even if it has, faces on it. It's the color and just the fact it's a postage stamp, authentic postage stamp, is already good enough, because I'm very, very interested. I'm always trying to use them in whatever I'm doing, and just I love their bits of art on them. So this is that beautiful pink paper with some of the grunginess on it. And then this is the back of the butterfly page, and a label here, and some more about plants. And then here, this large one is my own photography of a flower that I had once upon a time, and graph paper. And here is these beautiful bits. I love the way they turned out. It just looks like a flower on its own, sort of. You can see it with the stem and the beautiful petals on the top. And then I made a lace and fabric on top here, and then a notebook. So it's a larger notebook with a few pages on it, all different, so to keep your interest. And just closes like this. So a little secret hideaway spot, and then collaging here, and butterfly on this sewn label, and one more large journaling tag. This one has bits of shiny on it and sewn throughout for a little bit more texture, and a tab on the top, and of course lots of space too, right? And at the back here in this little cluster, you have another notebook. It's a little bit smaller, but still. So there's like, I'm not sure, 3 or 4 or even 6 little notebooks all over here that you can use as well. So lots of extra journaling spaces. And then here, Botanical with that brown paper. Now this one here is a little folder. It came from like a date book, and then it had flowers on the other sides, or the separators for each month. And then I put my logo on here just to try and incorporate somewhere the logo where this journal came from. And inside here on the other side is actually a pocket, and you have different things to go through, to use throughout the journal, or however you wish to use it. And it might come in handy even in another journal if you would like to put it there. So, and also this holds the, gives it a little more heft to the back of the journal. So this is Inspire, and I'm going to show you the other ones. They're very similar. So I'm going to go a little bit quicker on that. Not too quick, because I always like to, when somebody has more than one journal they're showing, and they show really quickly the other ones, I'm like, no, it's okay, slow down. I really, really want to see all of them, even if they're the same style, but they all have different images and interesting textures and so on. So this one is Inspire. I will show you the others now. So this is Creativity, and Creativity also has the snippet on the top with different laces, and some are in the same color scheme. A couple of laces are the same as in Inspire, but mostly each one I found some different things to use. And then this one has the embroidery, same as the other one, but it's a different part of that doily or cloth that I had. So this one has a tag with the title, Creativity here, and then has a bird on the front in that little window that I made, and it's backed with paper that you can write on. And over here we have some beads. Also, you can, I don't know where the beads like to jump on top, but you can put it wherever it is you like, really. And then it has this beautiful, beautiful shade of flowers over here, sort of bluish or teal. And then we also have a charm in the front, a leaf charm. So inside this one, here we have the, well, should I leave that for you? You might need it for something. I don't know. Here we have a little bit of that Botanical stretch right over this cardstock pocket. And then we have this notebook, and also this little collage here, and then with a little bit of bits that you can, glue somewhere else if you wish. So a little bit of a journal supply. Over here, we have a different lady, and she's in a garden. Well, because we're all trying to get into our gardens, but the last couple of days have been so hot here that really haven't had a chance to get out into the garden. And she fits here into this little cluster thing. And then this beautiful blue cardstock here, and a tab on top. Then a large journaling card with birds, and a label with a little bit of a little bit more thread over it, with a little bit more words on here, and then paper ruffle. Some book pages over here on birds and plants, and here's stamping and ledger paper. This one has a little gold button on here in this beautiful cluster with different laces and so on. And actually this is, oh, I see, it looks like it's a flower here, but it's actually from this side. And then the vintage gardening book, and a poem book, and little tag over here. Not so little, I guess sort of medium, but it has a bird on it and some different things for you to look at. I like tags, as I mentioned before, that have a lot going on, so I can take my time and just look through it a little bit more closely. And this is a little pull-up with stamping, lined paper, and just goes beautifully offsetting with this vintage book paper. And then sometimes I cut it with those serrated scissors just for a little more interest or texture. Label here, and one of those flowers I made with a button, and then a tall tag. Fits well into this pocket. And some more laces over here on both sides on the paper bag. And some more flowers here, and as well here too, thread and eyelash trim, fabric, and so on. So here is a round tag, and then this little birdie collaged onto a journaling card, and then the flower here. And then for this one, there's like also made, and also written into, and just beautiful handwriting and so on. So it's just beautiful to stare at something like that, the beautiful lake. And then another one of these flowers. And a little bit of a writing label, sewn label. More flowers from a book. Another label here. Lined paper with stamping. And a page from a poem book. And then over here a little bit from a gardening book. And this one, on this ledger paper, you have this see-through pocket, and it's quite a sturdy plastic too, which is for one of those name holders, I guess. So you can take it off, whatever you want to do, put it somewhere else, or just leave it like this. And obviously it has lots more room in here, so you can stuff it with a little bit more ephemera and birds and flowers, how to treat flowers and how to prune them and so on. Little bits over here sewn in the back as well. And in this pocket, I give you a plain piece from a vintage book that you can cut out yourself, fussy cut, or however you want to use it, and put it somewhere else. And then from a day book and a large label that you can also put somewhere where you wish. And then over here, this is another little tuck spot. And there's a bird here. And over here, my photography on this one here, the purple flower, and also a lace pocket. And then over here, we have some kind of writing, but it does have the flowers, and that's mostly why I took it, and why I printed it. And just to include here for a little vintage piece, it is a printed one, cardstock over here, and fabric tab. And over here, a label and a vintage postcard where, well, somebody's camping. I remember those days when we used to camp when kids are little. It was a lot of fun. But nowadays, I just prefer, maybe if I do go somewhere, maybe stay at an inn or stay at a hotel room instead. Yeah, I don't know how I did it before with 3 kids and a dog, and I don't know. It's a lot of work, camping. So anyways, paper ruffle here on graph paper, sewn bits, vintage book page, a little bit more stamping on ledger, and then over here more birds, and a little tag over here. It does have cheesecloth over this picture, then over this collage, and then butterfly wings, and then a little more. So a lot of details into these things I put in as well. So any little bit really I put in. I try to use texture and color and so on. So lined paper from a date book and vintage book, and another cluster here. This one says create. Actually found create, so create goes with creativity, so very nicely. And then this beautiful cluster with a bit of shiny and a stamping on cabbage dyed paper. This is from the Indian paper pack as well, and handmade paper, just beautiful. I put this beautiful lace over it. Love this color of the sea blue or sky blue. And then a pocket here out of envelopes, and I've sewn around and put a little bit of embellishment here, and just some little bit of birdie on the bottom. It was from a post-it that I haven't used yet, and I thought, well, why not use it already? So some extra papers here and little pockets I made, and a paper flower. And then I did leave this one empty as well for you to fill. and some more. You can always glue something over it if you wish to write on it, because I give you some other things that you can use. And then this one also, flip pocket, and then inside this beautiful green leaf with a flower. And here as well, authentic book page here. And another authentic book page with a label. This is also authentic. And a little bit of craft paper. And this ledger and this beautiful flower stamp holds this large, long, or whatever you want to call it, notebook with a lace cover and tucked inside here. And some more stamping, some more flowers, texture bits and collaging, and labels here. And this beautiful flower, large journaling card with some fabric on top, and here as well with a poem. Okay, and here is one of those again from my little close-up collection photography. And then this is a cluster. You can put something in, a little more birdie here, this beautiful cardstock. So over here on this one, we have another larger tag here with collaging and quite a bit of detail and sewing on it. And a label here. And then I found this, it's really like a calendar, blank calendar book, and I have many, they come in big sheets. I have many pages, and I just coffee stain them, and I love them. And of course you can use a different one for different day or different thought. And some paper collaging here. And this is a little pocket here as well with these beautiful flowers and a label and butterfly book page here, and then another cluster here with a clover leaf, if you can see it there, with a clover leaf and these beautiful laces and so on, some stamping, and a bird book page here, and a line page, some beautiful flowers, and some more flowers, and these laces on top of this ledger, and the bird here. Then over here I have some violets. These are from my Aunt Vera. She sent me some pictures, and I used it in a collage. She has these beautiful ones in her garden, and sometimes they also spread into the grass and so on. So she does pick some sometimes just to enjoy the beauty inside. So she made this bunch for me, and then I just put it into collage and a little bit of a botanical background. So thank you, Teta Vera. And then inside I have a little bit something, if I can get to it, just a little card here that you can use. And then over here some more little notebooks and little sayings on the side, and some details here, and the paper flower. And this one is a couple of journaling cards. And on this side too is also that same bunch, but I just made it a little bit different with lined paper on here, on the top of a ledger, and then some stamping and so on. And a stamped bird here, and a little bit laces on top. Book page, lined paper, birds, from my own photo collection here that I cut out, and it just looks like a nice botanical pop of color. And then the stamp album here with some stamps in these different colors, and stamping here, butterfly. And here's this little tiny pocket with plastic on it, a see-through pocket with a tag with a nest on it, and also says creativity, which is the title of this journal, and inside a label. So every page pretty well is adorned with some embellishment and some collaging and so on. And here's this large tag with this beautiful flower. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but it's sewn over as well over some of the leaves for a little bit more texture. And a little notebook here in this tuck spot, and then botanical here. And then this is the flower in this one, with this folder with these different, this one has this collaged journaling card with a bit of lace on it, and then some cluster and other little labels and so on for you to use. So this one goes in this way. And so this is the end of creativity. Another beautiful journal. I'm not sure which one might be your favorite. They're all really nice. So let's go on with the next one. Next one would be, let's see, let's try with Vision. This is Vision, and this is the title and the card that goes with it. And a bird over here with lots of stamping. Now these backgrounds backgrounds are made with stamped up backgrounds and stamped on top of that with actual designs. So first I just smudged the stamping around, stamping ink, and then actually gave it some actual design on top. And then I put eyelash trim and looks like maybe from sari silk fabric over here. So this is the beautiful, I don't know if it's upholstery or some kind of thick, but it's just very nice to hold it. And it's holding the covers pretty well too, and some beads over here. And then this is the lace cluster for this one, and a tree charm here, and some of the other laces. So beautifully fits on top here. So inside of this one, which is Vision again. So Vision has this lady with these beautiful flowers and this little collage snippet over here. Over here, some design paper, and then some botanicals, and here's your notebook here. And then this little supply see-through pocket here with a butterfly matching on the black here, and then tabs on the top, and the first large journaling card, paper ruffles, and the similar vintage book pages, all beautiful to look at and maybe even read something. And this one has a charm, a flower charm on this cluster with a bit of the shiny as well, and the different laces. And this is the blue food dye that I used along with a little bit of pink on this one. Also very beautiful shade that came out. Some stamping, poems, and this large bird. I don't know, she's eating maybe a fly or a bee or something, but anyhow, of course, birds, that's what they're doing. They're feeding on insects, and insects are feeding on other insects, unfortunately. So I put some fabric here, and on top of this journal page with stamping, some more flowers, and this tall tag over here. And it's just a little bit from my own collage paper, digital. And then the flower. And over here is the journal tag and the round tag on this one as well. A little bit of a butterfly and some flowers here, collaging, and some spots to write on, and the paper flowers. And here's the vintage postcard. This one is Michigan. Beautiful walk in the woods on this one by a creek, and a label here, and that flower. Just very, very cute, these flowers. And book pages. And here's this notebook with the lace cover for this one, tucked away here. There's some more of that. And then this is the flip over pocket that has this beautiful tag in it. And the back of that blue paper, vintage book pages. There's some bits sewn in, and another postcard here, a walk along the beach, very beautiful. And then a bird here, and a little tuck spot here. There's rose on it, and just a little bit more for my photography. And then lace pocket, and also this that I printed that has also flowers and leaves and so on. This beautiful writing on it. It's on top of some design paper here, and the lace tabs on top. And here's another little tag. And this cluster here, and has, let me see, noted, so noted. When we're taking notes, well, we're always noting, right? So, and lots of different laces and little bits over here. And just a flip out lined paper and a bit of the vintage gardening book stamping. And then this is the round tag on this one. This beautiful little flower and postage stamp together as well. A bit more here, and this is the center here, some writing paper, and then this beautiful, this is all of these envelopes are made from actual authentic book pages from a flower book. A little bit notebook here, notebook there, flower here, notebooks everywhere. Some more here, lace over here, stamping. Vision, this is the little tag here, and a little see-through pocket that says Vision, which is the title, of course, of this journal here. And then some stamps in green and red and yellow, sort of to match a little bit of this book page and so on. And some more flowers, label, sewn in bits. Over here, collaging, and here a beautiful blue tag, and here a large tag with a poem and a lace pocket, and a little bit of my photography here, and birdie here, and another cluster. And then here you have just some different pages you might want to glue somewhere else. Label. And this is a pocket here. Butterfly. And this cluster has a leaf charm. This beautiful bits of different shiny and so on laces. Some more birds. Stamping. Vintage book pages. This is something that turned out a little bit dark, but I like it. The gray. And then this beautiful lace over top. Here's some more violets. Inside you have a couple of journaling tags. Notebooks in here. So each middle has these smaller notebooks. Wordings here. And then a tag over here. With some different things. Images mixed with thread and fabric samples and so on. In the back of that one. Some of these pages, and then here's the see-through pocket for this one with the round tag, and my photo collection here, and a large tag here that I also sewn over where they're making a nest, I suppose, and this beautiful butterfly here. And a label, and this little notebook over here in this spot, and then some more Botanical, and then this pull-out pocket with RoseByNameCo on it, and then the different pages here, and this is the journaling tag in this one, or journaling card, and then a snippet here, and so on, some papers. So this is the end of Vision. I hope you enjoyed looking at this one as well. So we have one more to go. Okay, so last but not least is Whimsy. Whimsy has a lace snippet here in the similar colors, and with this beautiful flower on top, and then it has a flower charm as well. And the this is the fabric that's on it. You can see in the back beautiful teal and blue colors, and some of the beads on the spine. And then this is the tag that goes with it, with this beautiful stamping here, the word Whimsy, and a little collage in the window. and some lined paper on the back. So this one has this notebook and this beautiful matching yellow flower here, and then this collage page, and then some supplies in here for you to use throughout the journal. And this is the lady that is maybe looking through this journal after she's done in the garden. Maybe she'll write about it in here. And then a little cluster tuck here, some design paper. And then on top, always these little either cotton or lace tabs in these ones. So these ones I kept more neutral color, ivory color, instead of all the different colors that I normally use. So just for something different. And this is the large tag on this one. This one I've sewn on top here and back with craft paper. Here's some of that dark paper. Looks good. Sewing and ruffle, sewn bits, plant book, and coffee dye paper. And then this is the cluster here with the different laces, and then a little heart charm on this one, and bird and poems. And here's a tag on this one with a little bit of a bird in a nest, and then some looks like outdoor scene, and a little bit, even a spot for writing on the front, but as well on the back. And this sits on top of this stamped graph paper. So I'll just paper clip that. And then actually very similar colors, I guess, over here, also here, blue and purple on this vintage book page. More ledger paper on green here. And then some of that flower. And this here is the tall tag in this one. And this is from my collaging, digital collaging. And then lace here on both sides. And some flowers. And then here's the tag and the journaling card on this one. And on the other side is a postcard. This beautiful falls. This is from Canada, this one, and it does have writing on back. Authentic postcard. A little bit more of the flower, another flower in the back here, and a label to use, sewn label. And here's the long notebook on this one with the lace cover and some stamping over here. Flowers, and I added a little bit of the cheesecloth here, and it is a pocket that you can put something under. Whimsy, so this is the journal Whimsy, and has a little tag with stamped mushrooms on here. And we have some birds, coffee stamp paper pull out, and then these are the stamps in this stamp little album. So it has lots of room to add some more stamps of your own that you might feel belongs in here. And sewn bits here, and a tall see-through pocket that you can put something in. You can also always cut it too if you really don't want it that tall. You can glue it underneath, make two out of it. I don't know, whatever you want to do with it. A little bit of a flower, a little bit of a bird here in a tuck-in spot. And these are flowers from my garden here, my photography. And then this beautiful lace also. And here I printed this one, which I love, the earthy colors. Also some flowers on here, and the beautiful writing in the middle. And then a tab on the top. And this one has another nature postcard. This one's also written on with a beautiful garden and these mountains in the back. And some more collaging here and sewing in the bits. Flowers, and this one says faith, the charm on this one. And then these are the laces that I use on that, or the butterfly stamp, and some beautiful vintage colors on this. And here is a little round tag on this one, and it's beautiful pink paper with some stamping over it. And then these are my aunt's violets also that are growing in the grass, and I just put it over ledger lines on here. And this is printed on very thin I know, almost like paper, like almost like newsprint type page. And then it's beautiful. Look at this beautiful coffee staining. And then I did put lace over to balance the grunginess over here. And here are these envelopes. And inside they have 2 little notebooks. And here a little bit more writing paper. And this one is empty. And here's some more. This one looks like it's like mountains, peaks on the over there. And then a little bit more of my aunt's violets. Thank you, Aunt Vera. And some more stamping on this pink paper, vintage book pages. And here's this nameplate protector, plastic protector with this beautiful yellow flower and then this beautiful hanging tab over it. And I even managed to find the yellow eyelash trim to go with that. It goes perfectly to this page. And sewn bits here. And some of the extra paper for you to use and collaging here. And the large poem journaling card on top of this design paper, as well as here. And then this beautiful lace over here. And some of my photography. And another tuck spot here, a little birdie, tabs, sewn label, some line paper. This is like a form of some sort, and a little bit of collaging here. Yeah, beautiful spot there to maybe go have dinner later when I'm done with this. A little bit ruffle here, butterfly. And this cluster here has, looks like a palm tree, I would say. And some beautiful details there. Stamped rose, beautiful birds, lines and stamping. And here's a little label, sewn label here too. Over here. And this is the handmade paper in this one with lace over top. You can really feel the texture on this. And here's some of the, it's almost like tracing paper, but it's again from that olden photo album. And some journaling cards here. And some more little notebooks here. And inside this pocket is a larger tag with a postage stamp and a bird, and a smaller tag which is blank so that you can put something on it. More of that handmade paper, vintage paper, line paper, birds. And this is the flip out on this one with a tag in it as well. A label on the back. And some of my photography here, just for a pop of color. I think it's doing that. And then some butterfly, and beautifully turned out. The shade turned out beautiful here with the pink, and there's some of the grunginess here. And then a sewn through large journaling tag. And a little notebook here, and more collaging here. And looks like pussy willow over here. And Botanical over here. And then the pullout has this flower on it. And in the back, you have a journaling card, which is all collaged and stamped and sewn all around. And then some different papers over here. And some smaller labels over here. So this is the end of this one. This is Whimsy. This is just an extra card. This is Whimsy. I hope you enjoyed looking through all the journals. So we have Whimsy, Vision, Inspire, and Creativity. So I hope you had fun looking through these today. They are in my Etsy shop right now, so please take a look and see if there's any one of them might be for you. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Again, Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Take care. Bye-bye.